So the question at hand is to calculate the first 5 derivatives of the function f of x equals to cos x, and then to determine the 8th derivative of f, and then the 37th derivative of f. Now, this question is simply testing on whether we can determine a pattern for higher derivatives of a function, and then from the pattern, we predict other higher order derivatives without necessarily working out the derivatives from the first up to that given specified derivative. So let's see the answer to this. So solution. Now, f of x is given by cosine of x. So the first derivative, so this implies f prime of x. When you differentiate a cos function, you get negative sine function. Now, when you differentiate a negative sine function, you'll get negative cos function. Now, when you differentiate a negative cos, you get a positive sine. Now, when you differentiate a positive sine, you get a cos function. Now, when you differentiate a cos function, you get a negative sine function. So this is up to the 5th derivative that the question expected us to get. But you can say if you are to go to 6th derivative, so the derivative of minus sine x is minus cos x. It's like we are now repeating this pattern here. And then the seventh derivative will be given by negative sign, positive sign. And then the same thing continues. So you see the function was cos of x. So after 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th step will repeat the same function. And so if we go derivative of this one, negative sign, negative x, then this is positive sign. So the 8th derivative, so the derivative of sine of x is cos of x. So you see also after 1, 2, 3, the 4th step, we are repeating the same function, cos of x. So which tells us that now there's a pattern here. So accordingly to this differentiation, the successive derivatives of the function f of x cycle around or cycle among. So we start by negative sine x. So we see this value here. And then from negative sine x, we go to negative cos x. And then we go to positive sine x. And then finally, we come back to the original function cos of x. So this is a pattern that after 4 steps from the function itself, we get the same function. So since actually, and this one happens for all in that order as to increase the derivatives. In that order. So since h is a multiple of 4, then we have the 8th derivative of the function f of x actually be the same as the original function cos of x. Now, for the 37th derivative of x, we see that, so the closest multiple of 4 to 37 is 36. So we have that the 36th derivative of this function will be the same as the function itself. So which this now then implies that the 37th derivative will be simply the derivative of the 36th derivative, which is the same as d dx of cos of x, and this will give us negative sine of x. So this is how we determine the 37th derivative of the function f of x equals to cos x. So in that manner, you can actually predict any other higher derivative of f of x by just using this concept of the function repeating itself after 4 steps on differentiation. So thank you.